That. They were standing, both of them, glasses raised like they'd practiced it. My mother's voice was already shaking before she even said the word. Surprise. My father smiled the way he does when he thinks he's done something generous and doesn't want to look proud of it. Hawaii, he said. Next week. All of us, chairs scraped. My sister gasped loudly like she was supposed to. Her kids started yelling questions they didn't know how to finish. Someone clapped. Someone else said, "You deserve it." I smiled too. It took effort, but not a lot. Smiling has always been easy for me. It wasn't until the noise settled into something manageable that I realized I hadn't heard my own name once. I waited a beat. Then I asked lightly like I already knew the answer. "So what time is my flight?" My father didn't hesitate. That's what made it feel older than the room. "You don't need to know," he said. "You're not coming. You'll stay here and feed the dogs. And your sister needs help with the kids while we're gone." No one corrected him. My mother looked at her glass. My sister didn't look at me at all. One of the kids asked what time the pool in Hawaii opened. I nodded. I even said, "Okay." The word landed without resistance. It surprised me how clean it felt. That night, after everyone left, I stayed behind to stack plates and rinse glasses. My mother hovered, wanting to say something, but never finding the shape of it. When she finally spoke, it was to ask if I remembered where the dog food was. I did. I always do. On the drive home, I didn't cry. I didn't rehearse speeches. I just started listing things in my head. Who had access to what? What I handled that nobody thought about? What stopped working when I didn't touch it? I wasn't important in the emotional way, but I was structural. That week, I did everything I was asked to do. I smiled when my sister dropped off a color-coded list of her kids' routines. I nodded when my father reminded me which vet they preferred. I said, "Have fun," when they loaded their suitcases. Then I quietly stopped doing the other things. The things no one had ever asked me to do because they had never known they were being done. I didn't cancel anything dramatically. I just didn't renew what wasn't in my name. I didn't update what required my login. I didn't step in when systems reached the point where they normally waited for me. On the morning they left, my mother hugged me a little too long. My father said, "We'll bring you something nice back." I watched their car disappear down the street. Then I went home. 2 days later, a woman from a professional agency knocked on my door. She was polite and visibly confused. "I'm here about the childcare arrangement," she said. The account was suspended. No one has authorization on file now. I told her I didn't manage that anymore. She wrote something down and left. That same afternoon, my sister called me from Hawaii. The sound of waves made her voice thin. "Why is the sitter saying she can't pick the kids up anymore?" "I don't manage that," I said. "What do you mean you don't manage that?" "I mean I don't manage that." There was a pause where she tried to decide if I was joking. "Fix it," she said finally. I can't," I said. "I'm not responsible for it." She hung up. By the third day, it wasn't just the kids. Something with my parents' house, something I had set up years ago because my father didn't like calling companies, stopped working. It triggered a chain reaction that involved a professional inspection, the kind you can't ignore. A uniformed man showed up with a clipboard. He asked for my parents. "They're out of town," I said. "Who handles this for them?" he asked. "I used to," I said. "I don't anymore." He nodded, not dramatically, just decisively. He made a call. That night, my father called. He didn't yell. He sounded lost. "What did you do?" he asked. "I stopped," I said. "Stopped what?" "Everything you never noticed." There was a long silence. "You could have said something," he said. "I did," I said. "At dinner? You just didn't answer it the way I thought you would." He didn't have a reply that. They came home early. Not in a rush, not in disgrace. Just different. My sister avoided my eyes for days. My mother tried to make normal conversation that kept falling apart halfway through. My father didn't ask me for anything anymore. He asked other people and paid them. No one apologized in a clean way. My mother once said, "We didn't mean to hurt you." I said, "I know." It was the truest thing in the room. We still see each other. Not as often. Not as easily. I don't do invisible work anymore. I do only what is asked, and only if I choose to say yes. Sometimes I think they still don't understand what happened. But they understand what it costs now. And that has been enough to change where I stand in the room.